Aloha Scorpio, this is your April 2016 horoscope with me, Lada from Astrolada.com from the amazing Maui in Hawaii. Aren't I lucky to work and to sunbathe? And I'll probably have an awful sleeve tan by the end that I finish those videos, but I hope you enjoyed those views. And let's see what April brings for Scorpios. Well, there is a focus in your 6th house, Scorpios, where Aries is. The Sun and Venus are there in big part of April. So there is like a revitalizing, because wherever the Sun transits revitalizes that area of your life, and the 6th house rules your duties, daily responsibilities. So you might feel like there is a bit more duties and errands you have to run there. But also Venus being there will make you quite satisfied with the results, will make you quite to feel like take enjoyment in your duties and responsibilities. But still there might be like extra like new projects at work, or extra focus on work in your work environment there, and some project that you're working on from work, some duties and responsibilities. Also on more extra focus on health and health routines, more awareness of how you should eat, what to eat better, with to work out, what to do in order to fix your health. But often when the Sun is in the 6th house, which is also the house of illnesses, it can make us aware of something that is not too well in our health. Often when the Sun is in my 6th house, I get a cold or something to show me that I've not been taking good care of my body, or that I've been too stressed or something. And if you get such signals now, don't freak out. It's just you need some adjustments of your daily routines, of the level of stress, of the posture you have, of the foods you eat. You know better. It will bring you awareness about what matters are creating some dysfunction or some health problem in you. And you can tackle them, and you can make some change of that. It brings awareness in that area. But there's focus there on work and responsibilities and more routine things, so to speak. But at the same time, Mars, your planet that rules Scorpio, is turning retrograde. That happens once every 2.5 years, and Scorpios feel it strongly because Mars is your ruling planet. Mars is you. So when your planet starts turning backwards, its energy becomes more ponderous, it becomes more intensified. It's almost like you become even more scorpionic, because Mars moving backwards has more the energy not of Aries, its other ruler, so charging ahead, but more like of the scorpionic energy, which is strategizing, waiting for an ambush in the corner, researching, digging deeper, investigating. So it's almost you become 3 times more scorpionic when Mars is turning retrograde for you, more strategic. And the strategy for you is not to rush ahead from the end of April when Mars turns backwards, but to actually go over things a few times, because a retrograde planet requires reiteration 3 times, because it goes 3 times over the same area. So requires us, particularly for you Scorpio, it requires us to go over some things that you started in the past. Some old issues will come to the surface regarding your overall life, because Mars rules your overall life, but particularly in regards to work, because Mars rules your 6th house, and in regards to Mars rules your 6th house, and in regards to your 2nd house, because Mars goes retrograde in your 2nd house of finances. So some issues there might come to the surface that need to be fixed over the next few months, starting from the end of April. You have to be cautious, you have to be patient in regards to financial matters. You should not rush ahead and charge and say, put and invest all your money in one thing without having researched all the options, without having thought out everything thoroughly, because problems can develop, and matters regarding finances or resources or possessions can become a bit more tangled up, and a bit more requiring more extra efforts and attention from you, and extra hard work. But that should not scare you, because a retrograde planet is intense at the beginning. It's very intense when it goes retrograde, but its purpose is to teach us to be more tougher there, and to show more self-initiative and more self-control and more extra willpower in that area. So it makes us empowers eventually. It eventually by the end of this process, it will empower you you feel more empowered in how you're dealing with your finances, how you resolve financial issues. That will come towards August, September, that you'll see finally those results. But April, May, they might feel more complicated in regards to finances. There might be some extra expenses you have to encounter, and there might be some extra financial things you have to deal with, and responsibilities and duties to mobilize, maybe to change somehow your resources, or to sort out new resources, or to sort out a problem in regards to your finances which will secure you financially for the long term. When my husband had Mars retrograde in his second house last 2-3 years ago, this is when we bought property, so we had big expenses, and there were lots of repairs that had to be done, and we were not prepared for those financially, so he was stressing a lot during those. And I kept telling him, don't worry, we'll solve those. Now Mars is moving retrograde, the problems will intensify, but we'll find a solution. And the way to find solutions with retrograde Mars is by strategic planning, by careful research and investigation. And we did sort them out, and we found the extra resources, and at the end we were so happy with the results, because a retrograde planet requires extra effort, but it gives 3 times more beneficial and fruitful results after you unsolve the problem. Almost like when a retrograde planet comes, the universe gives you some issue to solve, some problem to solve, and then it makes you, it's more complicated, requires extra willpower, extra push. But once you solve it strategically, logically, with willpower, then it gives you a reward. And it creates something, you create this way through your own willpower, something a much lasting and more fruitful result. So important events in regards to your finances will be happening over the next few months. Important events in regards to your whole life, because Mars also goes retrograde in your sign in Scorpio from June. But because Mars rules you, Scorpios, you start feeling it from the end of April, like something, your perspective is shifting in a big way. You're seeing things from a different perspective. When the planet moves, when your ruler moves backwards, you start seeing things, you find out some secrets that you are not aware of, and you change something in regards to those houses that Mars basically triggers, which is yourself, your whole life, your whole direction in life, your physical body as well, because your sign Scorpio rules your physical body, your path in life, your whole destiny in life. It's such an important retrograde period for you, Scorpios, because Mars rules you, and Mars goes retrograde in your second and first house, in your own sign, Scorpio. So that's kind of like once in 17 years period when you have to the opportunity to see things from a very different perspective, to really reevaluate, reassess your whole life and where you're heading, to see it from an original point of view. But initially this can create some little crisis by you finding some secrets, or by you finding some complications that you have to resolve, something that comes, some problem that comes from the past that you have to resolve as well, that you have to resolve logically, strategically again. Some fight might have to be happening. You might have to be asserting yourself for something and fighting for something, fighting to prove a point, or fighting to bring out some project and to make it, to really make it work, because there might be some technical issues or some kind of other logistical issues with whatever you're working on right now for the next few months, that you have to solve again strategically, like a military strategist. And you're very good at that, Scorpio. So this will be very, very helpful and very life-changing retrograde period for so many Scorpios. By the end, Mars comes out of your sign, so by August, and it's moving direct already, by August or September the latest, a big part of your life would have gone through a lot of transformations and changes. But usually it's kind of through some crisis, through some power struggle of some sort, through having to fight for something, through having to mobilize your energies extra hard. But the results will be spectacular, will be very important. And Mars, it's going to affect something to do with your work, with your health as well, because Mars rules your 6th house, daily routines and health overall, and work, duties and responsibilities. And it's going to affect something to do with your finances and the resources that you have, that you will transform in a big way. Maybe you find new sources, you change something that makes your finances more stable, but initially it feels like the stabilization of those areas. Because in order for us to make a change for the better, there is always some crisis that has to happen. And you know the Chinese word for crisis, it means new opportunity for change or something like that. So changes do not happen. We wake up one morning and we say, oh, fantastic, from now on I'll make lots of money, you know, or from now on I'll be a different person. Maybe it happens, but these are the so-called miracles, you know. But Mars requires us to do it through our personal willpower and efforts for a few months ahead, that you get extra scorpionic, extra willpower. Your willpower strengthens, your resolve in those matters will strengthen, even though the areas of those, a big part of your life can slow down and start feeling as if you are moving against the wind, and it might feel like you have to push against the wall, but you have to persevere slowly. Don't take any risky decisions, don't throw caution at the wind, but at the end of that process you would come up with something way more efficient, way more productive, way more workable, the logistic worked out for your life much better, and way more empowered in regards to finances, in regards to work, health, in regards to some kind of imbalance in your life, which is the 6th house, and in regards to your whole overall life, which is Scorpio. It's you, Mars goes retrograde there. So I don't want to scare you with this retrogradation. I mean, whenever you have to be a bit more cautious, because anger intensifies, because you Scorpios are ruled by Mars, and frustration intensifies. You might start feeling it from April already, because like everything starts turning backwards, and things from the past can coming back, and issues that have to be solved can come back, and it's not moving exactly according to your plan. But this retrograde motion wants to give you a different perspective, that there are better ways to do something than you thought, than your initial impetus of doing something. It's not like just the universe wants to fuck up with you and to play games on you. Just there is a better, when a planet goes retrograde, it wants to show you a different perspective on how to do something better, but it means that it scraps up your plans and it scraps up how you expected something to do, so we get frustrated. But be open to reinvestigating and researching from the end of April, alternatives, going over the details a few times, reiterating it a few times, over and over again, you know, in all those areas that I mentioned. And by the end of the process, by August, September, you will have much better results, and you'll be very proud what you achieve with your own willpower and with your own problem-solving skills in that area. And don't start wars, don't be the aggressors. But even though Mars is in your 1st house, you'll be doing some initiative, you'll be doing something of great importance there. But try to do it in a more, you know, not in a too aggressive way, but you might have to be fighting for something, asserting yourself for something over the next few months till July approximately, and proving something there. So Mars is about developing your willpower and assertiveness, but not aggressiveness. Don't push with aggressiveness, because if you're the aggressor, you lose the war. When Mars is moving retrograde, the aggressor loses the war. The one who is being aggressed wins it. But if you're assertive, if you go after what you want strategically, thoughtfully, you have the right things and with extra efforts, you know. So that's what I see for you, Scorpios. A very important time. You can write to me. If you want, I can do an answer to one question for you within 3-4 days. It's my cheapest service, and I can say how this retrograde Mars, which will change the life of so many Scorpios, how it will affect you personally. Because it might be, you know, if your ascendant is in Virgo, it might be triggering other houses. So we have to see the whole horoscope, and I can tell you, Scorpio, how this particular Mars retrograde, how it will change your life. I'll do a 15-minute recording for you, 10-15 minutes audio recording, so you can be prepared and armed. And the warned soldier is an armed soldier, as they say. We have a saying in Bulgaria. So I can give you a strategic plan how to act and where to expect the most important developments for you. So thank you so much, Scorpio. Subscribe to my channel, and also like my page Astrolada on Facebook, because I do daily updates on the astrological daily horoscopes for each sign. I draw tarot cards there. I do free readings as well. I give many free readings, and you can win a competition for a free reading with me if you follow my Facebook page, or with one of my 20 psychics and astrologers. They also kindly offer free readings for the reading of 15 minutes that you can read with an internationally known psychic or astrologer. And I do all those offers on my Facebook page or on my newsletter, which you can subscribe from my website, astrolada.com. Thank you very much, Scorpio. What a life-changing period for you, stars. A bit hard, but we'll make it through. Thank you.